All right. We're doing a little bit of a news report today. Oh boy, yes, it is true. I swear. The title is not clickbait. I didn't just make this up. I'm not making this up from some sources, some no BS. I didn't pull this out of my ass. I swear this is from Bandai's Twitter, officially confirming they are indeed listening and doing some reprints. So we will be talking about the news today. We'll be breaking down, is this a good change? Was this necessary? Is this good for collectors and players? And why, in my opinion, yes, it is. And what's gonna happen ideally to the market, or what I see happening to the market, right? So we will be doing that. We will be discussing that today's video. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the discussion today. Please like, comment, subscribe for more discussions. I do have a little bit of hints as to what we'll be discussing. Obviously, we'll be doing more One Piece discussions, especially as EBO3. I did want to make this as before EBO3 came out. I do want to do an update post EBO3. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in Fusion World, if you're interested in Masters, in Gundam, Pokemon, we'll be doing, well, and Star Wars as well. We have a lot to catch up on. We'll be doing a bunch of videos, so make sure to sub. But all right, what are these news? I've kept you waiting for long enough. God damn it. So what are these news? Well, Bandai essentially announced that they're going to be doing a select target of reprints for 3 things. And in my opinion, I'm kind of mixed on this. Mainly, I think it's a great change, but I will explain why I think it may not have gone far enough. So we will talk about the actual change though. Well, what are they going to be reprinting specifically? Number 1, OP13. They're going to be reprinting the anniversary set, obviously very infamous because it ended up causing them the mess that we're in, right? Obviously the amount of hype because it had so much value to it. Well, then they're also going to be reprinting, which is a first, I believe this is a first, EBO3. EB sets, if you guys are not too familiar with One Piece, these are the extra booster sets. God damn it. Did I not bring my EBO1 box? I did not. I did not even bring my OPO5 box. Oh, well. You know what? EBO1, EBO2, these are smaller boosters. Obviously, it's in the name. These are extra boosters. So these were usually kind of a one and done thing. These are very, well, not very, but these are smaller print run. And that's been the case, at least again, for the 2 so far. So I think it's kind of cool to see Bandai willing to change that, willing to say, you know what? A lot of people want this one, so we're going to see to the demands and we're going to make a little bit more. Even though that's not something we usually do for these EB sets, I think it's pretty neat that they're willing to listen. So that's the second thing they're going to be reprinting, EBO3. And then they're going to be reprinting, of course, the 3rd English anniversary set. So if you're not too familiar with this one, this is something they sold in their website. This is to commemorate, obviously, the 3rd anniversary, specifically the English version. And if you didn't try to pre-order this one, my goodness, it was an absolute shit show. Like, that's putting it very, very mildly. But it was such a mess. Oh my goodness, I couldn't get it myself. You literally could not log in. If you hadn't logged in, I think it was for like a couple months. If you hadn't logged in a while, you could not get back into your account, right? And you couldn't check out without an account because you needed a verification code. But since the server and the website was so backed up, you would take like 30 minutes to get those codes and they expired in 10. So you can kind of see where the problem lies. They were essentially useless by the time you got them. It created a mess. It was an absolute shit show. I'm so happy that Bandai ended up reprinting this one as well. I'm kind of surprised. I kind of expect them to just say, oh, sorry. So I'm kind of happy about that. Obviously, please don't end up buying at these insane prices. Just wait. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a more fair shot to getting them. So are these good changes? Is this good news? In my opinion, absolutely yes. I don't care from what perspective you're coming from a collector or a player. I think this is great for the long-term health of the game. And why do I say that, right? Because in my opinion, it's one thing if OPO1, OP2, OP3, OP4. It's one thing if these, I don't know if you guys can see them right there. They're stuck right there. Again, sorry I didn't bring OPO5. But it's one thing if these older sets that are not really meta relevant, that new people aren't going to really need, if these sets are going exploding, they're going parabolic, whatever people like to say, realistically speaking, who cares, right? It doesn't really affect anyone. It's not really affecting new people. It's not really affecting players, not really affecting onboarding of people into the game. So I don't think that's really much of an issue. Where it becomes an issue is where these brand new sets end up becoming so absolutely expensive. I mean, quite literally, let's look at the last 2 sets. This is double MSRP. And this is like, well, it used to be like it literally used to be like $700. Do you know how insane that is? Trying to sit someone down and tell them, like, imagine someone sees you play One Piece and they're like, oh man, well, that game looks pretty good. Where can I get some cards? And you tell them, oh yeah, it's the new One Piece game. Well, it's not obviously not that new, but it's the One Piece game. You should check it out. You should get some cards. And they tell you, oh yeah, where can I get some? I want to rip some packs. Oh yeah, sorry, it's like $700 a box. It's very hard to sell someone the game like that, right? It's very hard to onboard people like that. It feels very unwelcoming. If you walk into Target and you can't find shit, you walk into your LGS and they're charging like damn near $300 for that newest set. It's very overwhelming. It sucks. It just sucks. I don't think there's another word for it. It just sucks as a new player. It sucks as a player. It sucks as a collector. Again, if this was just older sets that were taking off, that's fine. But again, when we're talking about this brand new stuff, and it's not like it's just a collector exclusive thing. It's not like what's it called, like Magic, where it's like, oh, it's a collector box. Who cares? These are the regular boxes that everyone needs. So it really becomes a problem for again, the long-term health of the game. Again, I don't make it a secret, right? I'm a huge collector, both sealed. You can see I have a bunch of sealed product. Not just that, these two are my personal binders. You can see, obviously, you can't see it, but there's the Luffy right there. These are my top hits well, not top, but my personal favorite hits for the games I've opened. Missing some, unfortunately, but here's one of my pages for One Piece one. Check it out. Some pretty cool stuff. Obviously, nothing crazy. Sorry if you were expecting mangas, but point being, I get it, right? I'm a collector. I'm also a Neanderthal. I get it. If I see my collection go up, I'm happy. So don't get me wrong, right? I think it's obviously pretty cool and all, but again, when we're talking about the long-term health of the game, we kind of have to step back from that kind of personal greed and think, is this sustainable for long-term health of the game? When these new boxes, when EBO3 you can find for cheaper than $400, I wonder if that's sustainable, or it's like $700. I wonder if we're gonna be able to get new people and keep the game going for a while. No, obviously not. Obviously, Bandai was gonna have to step in. So I think this is a great change, again, from both perspective of players, collectors, anyone. If we're thinking about the future of the game, if we want this game to make it to 5 years, 10 years, however long it is, right? We need to keep the new sets accessible and for everyone to be able to find, at least be able to find some damn packs. I mean, Jesus Christ, right? And we're not talking about, oh, it's rotting in shelves and it's like $90 like OPO8, right? Like, we're literally talking about this thing being like $700. That's insane. Even this set, which isn't even that hyped up, is going for like double MSRP. I mean, Jesus, that is bad. There is a sweet spot, right? There is a definitely difference between, oh my God, this is selling like ass, and oh my God, this is literally like 2 times, 3 times MSRP. This is absolutely insane. This is unbearable. We have to try to find that sweet spot, right? We have to try to make the new sets try to stick around MSRP. Again, if it's like 10% under, 10% over, I don't think that's that big of a deal personally. Maybe even like 15. That's kind of pushing it over. But if it's under, maybe it was a bad set or something, right? We have to try to stick around that for the newer sets. Again, older sets, I could not give a fuck, right? It's not affecting anyone. But again, these new sets, I think this was a very, very much needed change. So why am I not fully happy with this change then, right? You might say, why? Because the value of this box might go down. No, because in my opinion, I kind of wish that they had reprinted more. I wish that they had reprinted like kind of what they did with the OPO5 boom. What happened with the OPO5 boom? In case you don't watch my previous video, go check it out. We talked a little bit about this. The OPO5 boom essentially refers to the time period when OPO5 first came out. So the first year of the game, there was not a lot of supply, as you can imagine. Obviously, supply got dried up. Very, very cool new set. The first anniversary set. So obviously, a lot of people jump into the game. The supply ends up getting dried up and prices ended up going to $350. What Bandai ended up doing, instead of just reprinting more OPO5, which they did additional waves. They also ended up reprinting OPO1 through 5 to essentially make sure that, because all of them were essentially going crazy at the time, and they ended up not crashing, but they ended up driving the price back down. I think OPO1 to like $250. I think OPO2 to like $180. I think OPO3 and 4 did end up kind of crashing. And then OPO5 back to like $180, $170, right? So they definitely ended up having a very large impact on the market. And that's kind of what I was expecting. No, I wasn't expecting them to reprint again. I did talk about how I think it's fine that they're not touching the very, very older ones. Because again, this is quite literally about to get reprint or rotated out. So who cares, right? But I kind of was hoping and expecting them to reprint at least that last 4 or 5 sets. I kind of was hoping for them to reprint from OP 10, 11, 12, and 13 and obviously 14 at this point, just because again these have not, I'm pretty sure these have not been reprinted in PRB sets as well. That's why I don't have a problem with the sets before them, because again they're the base seekers, the supers have all been reprinted as or most of them have at least been reprinted at PRBO2, right? So I don't have a problem with those. But when we're talking about these newer sets, again, OP11, even OP11, OP14, these are way too expensive, and this is the brand new set, and it's like 2 times MSRP. So it kind of sucks that we're not really seeing any announcements about that one. OP11 is like $400, and we're not seeing any announcements about that one, and it still has some kind of relevant, obviously not a lot of them, but it still has some kind of relevant cards. So it kind of sucks, in my opinion, that we're not seeing that, but it is a step in the right direction. I definitely am happy. I definitely think they are willing to adjust as well. So maybe if this one ends up going crazy, they'll hopefully be able to and willing to adjust. And hopefully going forward, this is kind of what I was anticipating mostly, is that they will be increasing production, because they, if you guys didn't know, they also signed a new deal with more distributors. This means we should be seeing more product on the market. So going forward, especially for these reprints as well, the reprints of OP11 or OP11, what the hell, OP13, EBO3, and then obviously the newer sets, I'm guessing from OP15, maybe OP15/16. I'm not sure which one the new deal will come in. We will hopefully start seeing more supply from the jump, right? Instead of having to wait this annoying months of, oh my God, I can't find shit. Hopefully from the jump, we're going to have that stable supply. So in my opinion, that's why I think this is good news. In my opinion, this is great. I think this is, again, good just for the long-term health of the game. I'm kind of curious to see where you guys land. From all types of people, are you a collector, are you a player, are you a store owner? How do you feel about this in general? And what are the effects on the market? Obviously, if we focus obviously on mainly the two targets, obviously the third and English anniversaries that doesn't ship out until, I don't even know when, but way too far. So I don't think that we're going to discuss it too much. It was selling for like 600. I'm guessing this is going to tank it a little bit, but I want to focus on OP13 and EBO3, because obviously EBO3 is literally about to come out. And OP13 is obviously the most hyped up set recently, right? So I kind of want to focus on those. So what are the effects currently that we're seeing on these two? Well, EBO3 pre-orders before you could not find for under 450. It was absolutely insane. It was asinine. Now we're seeing them crash down a little bit to below the 400 mark. So I'm kind of interested. I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of predicting this to, as we get closer to release, we're going to see a little bit of a race to the bottom. And with this news as well, I'm guessing some people are going to be more motivated to sell that ink. Maybe obviously they were thinking before that, oh my God, they're not going to reprint it because they usually don't reprint EB sets. And now that we know they will, we're hopefully going to see some more people more motivated to sell their stock, right? Their cases or whatever. Because if you hop on Whatnot, by the way, don't hop on Whatnot. Don't make that mistake. Jesus Christ. You're going to see people ripping literal cases. Don't ask me how. Apparently some were stolen. It's a shit show. Just don't hop on there. Make it for your own sanity. Just don't hop on there right now. But yes, I do expect that to happen. Obviously, as more people get their product, we're going to see a little bit of a race to the bottom. Maybe as we wait for the reprints, and especially because we don't know the size of the reprints. That's why I don't want to be too optimistic and tell you guys like, oh, just absolutely wait. Just even if it goes to like 200, just don't buy it because it's going to be reprinted because we don't know the exact numbers. But I do expect a little bit of bigger numbers just because, again, those new distributor deals, right? But we don't know when they're coming. That's a problem. We don't know when they're coming out and when that deal is being finalized. So we have to, those two things are going to be very, very important when it comes to the size of that reprint. Hopefully it's obviously done after so that we have as much reprint as we can have for these two, right? And more people can hopefully get in on these new sets. I mean, quite literally, these are new sets, right? So that is the effects we're seeing with EBO3 and with OP13. Obviously, this is a set currently out. This has been out for a while now. So what is happening with OP13? What was happening before the announcement? OP13 was creeping towards $700. I am not trolling. I am not kidding. This thing, people were genuinely paying $700 for this thing. And by the way, you're probably never gonna see that promo pack that you got. I didn't actually end up getting it. I think I still have it over there somewhere. But yeah, it was absolutely insane. It was going absolutely crazy. After the announcement, though, funnily enough, it already dropped $150. Close to. It's absolutely crazy, right? This is insane. I do expect it to drop a little bit more as we have some panic sellers, and again as we get closer to that mythical reprint date. Again, it could even end up backfiring, right? Reprint day could come and it's just like, oh, stores are gonna get like 3 boxes. It's like literally worthless, like a worthless reprint. But we don't know that. And obviously the history of Bandai has a notorious history for literally reprinting a lot. So that's why you see a lot of panic sellers. And in my opinion, right, we're going to see the price kind of continue to decline. Maybe not crash. I'm not going to say it's going to crash just because I do think that a lot of people are just going to try to hold it out. And the set has a lot of value. So a lot of people are just going to keep buying it, right? So I do see it going down. I don't know how much though. I don't want to put my money on an amount, right? I don't want to give you a specific amount, but I do see these two sets, OP13 and EBO3, going down until we get closer to that mythical release date or reprint date, and we find out the exact amounts, right? But I'm kind of curious, what do you guys think about the discussion? Hopefully I didn't bore you too much. A little bit of an update, what I think about the move. Do I think it's a right move? Yes. If anything, I don't think it went far enough, but I think it's a good focus, right? Focus on the new stuff. Leave collectors to enjoy the older stuff. Who cares? Realistically speaking, it's not affecting anyone. It's not affecting onboarding players. It's not affecting players overall. It's not affecting the growth of the game. While you focus on the new stuff, making sure that it is readily available. I like it. It's like the Pokemon approach, right? Once the older stuff gets old and nobody cares about it, who cares? Let collectors have fun with it, and it's not really affecting anyone. I think that's a good approach overall. I think it's a healthy thing to have. I think it's a good thing. I don't know if it's a controversial, crazy thing to say, right? I think it's a good thing to have product available in shelves for MSRP. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the discussion, and hopefully I'll see you next time with the release of EBO3. Stay tuned. I still don't have my EBO3. I got canceled. RIP. I'm guessing a lot of you are going through the same thing, and hopefully I'll see you next time.